Hey everybody, I'm Bill Lees with William Lees Waterproofing Consultants LLC, and welcome back to another one of our programs where I talk about stuff that I like to talk about. And today we're going to talk about this letter right here. I had made a complaint against several companies that I claimed were acting as architects, performing inspections under SB326, and the Board of Architects, after reviewing the documentation that I sent them and whatever else they may have done, came back and said, hey, we don't see where these companies have violated anything. Says right here on the letter, second paragraph, the laws created by SB 326 do not specifically require a licensee to be on site when they conduct a visual inspection of elevated elements. Furthermore, architects are allowed to exercise exercise responsible control over many aspects of their projects. This is a typo, of their projects, I assume, without direct contact. Finally, because the law is new, there is no established standard of care to guide industry practice in this context. Therefore, the board has taken no position on the need for an architect to be physically present while conducting the visual inspections mandated by 326. And we will defer to the opinion of local building officials. Any similar complaints we receive will be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. So what is this doing now? It seems to be basically saying that I can go do an inspection. I'm not licensed. I'm not a contractor. I'm a former contractor with an inactive license. But this seems to be saying, hey, anybody can go do the inspection. Any clown can do it as long as under the responsible control of an architect. There are companies out there that are hiring 1099 contractors to do their inspections for them. Are they under the responsible control of an architect? I don't think so. Here, in the two cases that we have, one architect actually signed his cover letter, which was on stationery of the company that did the inspection, not even his own stationery, on the company that did the inspection, and said, this company did the inspection. It's all good. I concur with their findings. And the architect who signed this report actually lives in Tennessee. And Architects Board didn't get back to me and say anything. I said, excuse me, I have a question. How is an architect who is in Tennessee have any direct control over a job if he's not even in the state? No answer, no response. To their credit, I did get a response back to them or from them that said, if an architect had to be on site, that would increase costs dramatically. Well, yeah, it would, because an architect or an engineer, for that matter, charges a lot of money per hour to be on a job site. That's what they got to do. They're an expensive proposition, but the bill says, and this is several attorneys have said to me, our opinion, based on the wording of the law, is that the architect or engineer must be physically present. Adrian Chang of Swedelson Gottlieb actually wrote an article about this, saying the architect or engineer needs to be on site. That's his opinion. It hasn't been tested under law. Somebody's going to have to make a complaint or file a suit, I guess, against a company that is doing these kind of things, and find out in law, a court of law, which will establish, I guess, whether 326 actually does or does not require an architect or engineer to be physically present. So my thing is that those guys that are like us, my company, and others out there, Sigler and Associates, is one, A7 is another. I want to call these companies out because they are all of the opinion of that an engineer or architect has to be on site. That's what they're doing. I do the same thing. I bring an engineer with me. The engineer writes the report. I write a waterproofing report that is appended to his, and his report is stamped and sealed. These others, I'm seeing a sealed letter, signed and sealed letter, but they're not signing and sealing the report. So that's an odd little thing to me, and I hope that it is to you. I'm hoping that this will get picked up by CAI Committee, California Legislative Action Committee, CLAC, and local CAI chapters, and all interested HOA managers and boards of directors. I don't know. Have you gotten screwed over by these games that are being played? This is all going to play out. I don't think that CLAC wrote the bill with the intent that the engineer or architect didn't have to be on site. I think that they absolutely wanted an engineer or architect to be on site. And so that raises the question is, if a licensed contractor actually does the inspection and then gives the information to an engineer or architect who stamps the report that they wrote, is the contractor now performing the work of an architect or engineer? And is that something that the Contractor State License Board can investigate? So that's a question that I have. And actually, I put it out on the counter already. I have a complaint that I am mailing to the Contractor State License Board that's exactly what one company did, and please investigate if they did the work of an architect or an engineer. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Stay tuned for more information. If you want to contact me directly, it's LEYS Waterproofing Consultants at gmail.com, or look us up at SB326 deckinspectors.com. Thanks very much. We'll see you next time.